Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily and I post a variety of content on here. I mostly do book content videos, but I've recently started streaming every Wednesday and Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, and I am about to be starting a Sims 4 Let's Play of my future dream life as well. So we got a lot going on here. I do occasional just like normal lifestyle vlogs, but for today's video we are going to be doing a TBR and monthly wrap-up of all of the books I read in April. It's still honestly kind of hard to believe that we are already going into May, but here we are, and I'm really excited to see what the summer holds with regards to all of my reading, because I think the beginning of the year I was in a little bit of a slump, but I've definitely gotten into reading a little bit more again, and I think audiobooks have honestly been really helping me. But with that all being said, let's dive into this video. If you have not subscribed already, please be sure to do that down below. I would love to have you a part of our little family, and be sure to like this video and comment down below any book recommendations you have for myself or anyone else watching this video. So we're gonna dive into all of the books that I have read in April. First one being, I ended reading The One by John Mars. This is a reread. I still gave it a 5 out of 5, absolutely loved it. I think I've talked your guys' ear off about this book already. Essentially, this book is about this dating app where you send in your DNA and it can find your soulmate, and there's a lot that just like goes wrong within all of these relationships. It follows so many different points of views, and the chapters are pretty short, so it just always keeps you guessing and on your toes. And I was worried I wasn't gonna love it as much as I did the first time, but I did, so I still highly recommend this book. Please go pick it up. I couldn't recommend it enough. The next book that I read/listened to was Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This is definitely the spiciest book I have ever read, like ever. It is a retelling of Hades and Persephone, and essentially what happens is Persephone is supposed to get married to Zeus. Zeus is this like evil guy. I mean, I think we all know Zeus as the god, and she obviously does not want to do that, so she decides to run away, and Hades is not supposed to exist anymore, but he does. So she ends up just like going across the river and finds out that he is very much still alive, and they just like hit it off, and they go through this whole thing of how they're going to get her out of this marriage, and obviously romance sparks. It's very spicy, as I said. I don't want to spoil anything, but I did really enjoy this book. I would probably give it like a 4.5 out of 5. It wasn't like completely plot driven, and I wish there was a little bit more plot and less spice in it, to be honest. But the beginning and the end had a lot of plot, and then the middle was filled with a lot of like smut and spice. Not to say I didn't like it, I really did, and I do plan on continuing the series, so I highly recommend you do check this out. I know a lot of people have just like raved about this series, so yeah, it was good. The next book I read, I actually don't have in person, but I read it on my Kindle, and that is You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. This book just came out on April 25th, so if you have not gone to get it yet, do not walk, run, because it was so good. I would honestly say it's not like a 5 out of 5 by any means, but it's definitely so good. I love her writing. I think that this was a unique thriller story. It's about a woman who goes to Wyoming to get away from the city, and she stays at this guy's Airbnb, and a lot of really weird things happen. He becomes really infatuated with her, and her goal is to just like have a vacation and go home at the end of it, maybe be a little flirty, but he is like really in love with her essentially, and it just shows you like who to really trust and what can go wrong if you put too much trust into people. And I really liked it, so I highly recommend this one. The second last book I read in April was actually April's book club pick, and that is Gallant by VE Schwab. This is a hardcover. If you know me, I'm not a huge fan of hardcovers, but we dealt with it, and this cover is super cool. This book follows a 16-year-old girl named Olivia Pryor. She goes to a girls' school and she was abandoned by her parents. She then gets a letter from her uncle saying, hey, we want you to come live with us. You can leave this girls' school, come live at Gallant with us, which is this extravagant big home that they live in. However, her mom left her a note years ago saying, you will be safe as long as you stay away from Gallant. So she kind of has to think about Would I rather be stuck at this school or be with real family in a potentially dangerous place? She chooses the latter, obviously. And from there, you kind of just get a lot of like haunted, paranormal vibes. There's ghouls, there's quite a bit of like horror writing, honestly. I thought this was going to be more of a fantasy, but it turned out to be a little bit more scary than I thought. But I really liked it, and it was YA. It felt a little bit older than YA to me, but I still enjoyed it. It wasn't like a favorite. I would give it a 3 out of 5, but I still like it, and I think this would make a really, really good movie. And the last book that I actually am not fully done yet, but I'm getting there, I'm listening to it and reading it, is Confess by Colleen Hoover. I'm like 80% done this right now, and it's like 3 days until the end of the month, so it'll get done. But this is really good. I don't know why I was sleeping on this one for so long. I just like, because it's a part of her backlist, I was kind of questioning it for some reason. But it follows a girl named Auburn and a guy named Owen. So Auburn had lost mostly everything that was important to her in her life, and she decides to move to Texas, to a bigger city, to start over. She's like 21 or something like that, but she is struggling for money, and she ends up coming across this art studio called Confessions, or Confess. I forget if it's Confessions or Confess, but regardless, she finds it, and this guy named Owen asks her to help him essentially like run the cashier at his art show. So she does that. They really hit it off, and there's a lot of secrets and drama and all of the typical things you would find in a Colleen Hoover book, to be quite honest, but I'm really enjoying it. It says, to save their relationship, all Owen needs to do is confess, but in this case, the confession could be much more destructive than the actual sin. In her magnificent and exceptional style, Colleen Hoover delivers once again a deeply moving story about how true love and family are ties that can never be broken. And like I said, right now, I'm actually really enjoying it. I don't have any complaints. So I guess I'll let you guys know like my full review in May, but I'm considering this one to be a book that I read in April. All right, we have come to the end of all of the books that I read in April. So I read 5 books, which like I said, that's like on average what I would like to be reading. So I'm very happy with that. And on Goodreads, it says I'm on track to meet my 50 book goal. So I'm really happy about that. Now we can discuss all of the books I plan on reading in May, and I have a really good feeling about this month. I'm excited. So the first book that I am hoping to read, I don't have in person. I have an ARC on my Kindle, but it is our May book club pick, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry, my queen. I love her. She is, honestly, everyone loves her. She is incredible. Her writing is so good. I love that her books aren't really considered romance, but there is like a lot of romance in them. And I believe Happy Place is about a couple who has broken up a few months prior, but they go on this like friend vacation with a bunch of their friends every year, and just to make things less uncomfy, they decide to pretend they're still dating throughout it. And I know that there's definitely some grief and past trauma and stuff revolving around their relationship in the book, but I like to go into my book club reads pretty blind, so I didn't really know a lot about it, but the cover is really cute. I'm a little sad that it is in a hardcover, but eventually it'll come out as a paperback, and I'll add it to my collection of all of my Emily Henry books. But yeah, nonetheless, everyone was really pumped to read this for the book club, so if you would like to join us, we are going to be meeting. If you have been just as excited to read this book as everyone else in the book club, definitely show up. I would love to have you. I will put all of the information you need to join in the description down below. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to pick this one up. The next book that I'm hopeful to read in May is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've been wanting to read this for a really, really long time. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing style. I think that it's beautiful and to the point, but also still very artistic. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. But I also do love that a lot of her books revolve around some type of like historical time period. However, this one doesn't, so I'm looking forward to it. I think that a lot of people know what this book's about, and it did just recently come out as a movie, so that's another reason why I want to read it. But the back essentially says, a breathtaking new love story about a woman unexpectedly forced to choose between the husband she has long thought dead and the fiancé who has finally brought her back to life. So she thinks that her old husband had passed away in a helicopter accident. Years go by, she gets engaged again to someone else, moves on, and then finds out that he's still alive, and she kind of has to like choose. And I'm a little nervous. I feel like this is going to be a very emotional read, but I know that Taylor Jenkins Reid always does a good job, so that is on my list for May. I also decided to throw in a little fantasy here, and we're going to read the novella from ACOTAR. So this is A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I think that this is just like a nice, fluffy read between A Court of Wings and Ruin and A Court of Silver Flames. Yeah, it says, with it will come a hard-earned rest from the work that she, Rhysand, and their friends have done to rebuild the Night Court and the vastly changed world beyond. Yet the festive atmosphere can't keep shadows from looming. So it's kind of like that middle book before A Court of Silver Flames, before all of the action starts up again. So I'm really excited about it. It's really not that long, and I've just been missing ACOTAR, honestly, so that's definitely going to get read. And the last book that I am hoping I pick up in May, I keep saying I'm going to read this and then I don't, is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. It is about two friends, a girl named Lily, who is addicted to sex, and a guy named Lo, who is addicted to booze. And they essentially just like fake date to help each other hide their addictions, and then I think they just end up falling for each other in the end. So it's a whole series. I know there's like so many books and other books from like the Calloway sister series that kind of intertwine. So maybe that's why I haven't picked it up yet. I'm just like nervous that I'm going to really love it and then I'm going to have to buy all the books. But that's not the worst thing. So yeah, that is the last book on my May TBR. So these are all of the books that I've either read already in April or I plan on reading in May, plus a couple audiobooks or like ebooks. It's very heavy. I'm going to put it down. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out my streams. I know that this has definitely been a booktube channel for a while now, but I kind of want to just make this a very well-rounded version of me on this channel. So you're getting all of it. You're getting the book stuff, you're getting the streaming, all the gaming, you're going to get real life, my life vlogs, just all the things. So be sure to subscribe down below if you want to get to know me more. Definitely message me on any of my social medias if you want to be friends. I would love to get to know you guys. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.